Hey everybody, you're back with Chopping It Up, and this is Keith Saarloos. This is where we take a little break on Saturday morning at 10 a.m. on Crazy Country 105.9 and interview and talk to people in this valley that make it so special. And today's guest is one of my favorite people in the world. His name is Vaughn Gordon, and you might not have heard of him yet, but I guarantee you definitely will. So this is one you got to listen to because some Sunday off in the future, about 5-10 years from now, when you're sitting back and you're watching golf on a beautiful Sunday, just like you kind of probably were with the Open this last Sunday, and all of a sudden you're going to see a face, and it's going to say San Ynez on the baseline of where he's from. I'm looking forward to this because Vaughn Gordon is a family friend of ours. I'm very close with his parents. We love him very, very much. But Vaughn is a standout. He's a standout human being. He's a standout golfer. He is one of those people that is fully realized at 16 years old and knows exactly what he wants to do and where he's going. So this is our chance to talk to someone real special that you may not have heard of, but you're definitely going to know him after this. Welcome to the show, Vaughn. How are you doing?
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm doing great.
So Vaughn, let's kind of get into it. So how did you find the valley? How did your family find the valley?
Yeah, so we were living in Malibu at the time, and this was about 9 months before the Woolsey fire, before the big fire, and we ended up moving just before COVID and just before the Woolsey fire. But we were living in Malibu. My dad found a house up here in Solvang in the Alisal, and fell in love with the house immediately, and was just like, he knew what he wanted to do, and he bought the house. And about a month later, we moved up here, and luckily also avoided the fire in the process. Our old house burned down about 9 months after we moved. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's tragic.
I know. Crazy.
So you founded, let's say 5-6 years ago.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And just to touch base on that, the house that you're talking about, which is one of my favorite houses in the valley, is a Cliff May house, which for those of you who are listening and don't know, Cliff May basically pioneered the modern farmhouse look in California and is definitely a local. He built a lot of different cool, really special houses, you guys with being one of them, but also all of his architecture, like the Sunset Magazine offices, that's a Cliff May.
Yep.
And all of his stuff, we have a little tie-in to him because we knew his son, and he donated all of his dad's architectural stuff to UCSB. So if you ever want to look up Cliff May or go hit UCSB, you can find a bunch about it. So that's another little tidbit for the valley.
For sure. Yeah, no, it was a funny story how my dad actually found it. He found it in a magazine. He was just looking at a Santa Barbara magazine and saw that house and was like, that's the type of house that I want. And then it ended up going on the market like only really in LA because the previous owner wanted someone from LA to move and buy the house. So
Barry Burkus, I think, was the guy who owned it before you guys. Actually. I knew Barry. Strange.
Yeah. So it was a crazy story, but now we're here. Been living here for about 5 years. Absolutely love it.
And how old are you, Vaughn?
I'm 16.
You're 16 years old. Yep. Unbelievable.
Yep. We moved just before I turned 10. So just the end of my 4th grade year. So yeah, it worked out perfect.
So now, Vaughn, I'm going to put you on the spot here. I know you're going to hate to do this.
Yes, sir.
But let's talk a little bit about your passion, golfing.
Absolutely.
So you, from what I remember, and this no notes in front of me.
Yep.
First year playing golf for San Ynez High School.
Yep.
Pirate. You were the MVP of the team.
Yep.
You were. Keep going. What other accolades did you get year one?
I honestly don't remember that the actual
typical 16
accolades. I'll be honest with you. I think it was MVP, and it was either. I think it might have been first team or second team on. I don't remember it was definitely first team, but
I like the humble. It was first or second, but it was definitely first.
It was definitely first. No, I actually don't remember the accolades, but we ended up winning our CIF division, which was really, really fun. And had that so that was the first time San Ynez Golf had done that.
So San Ynez Golf now, it's won CIF
twice.
Yeah,
we won it my freshman and my sophomore year.
Well done, Vaughn.
Yeah.
And so you took going to San Ynez High School, golfing.
Yep.
Playing your home course, I assume, Alisal Ranch.
Alisal Ranch. Yep. The private,
the greatest course in the world
ever. Yep.
Oh, the best course. I love it.
Yep.
And then now, in the last, let's just say a couple of years, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So you're a senior.
I'm going into my senior year.
You're going
of high
into
school.
your senior year. So let's just talk about the last 3 years.
Okay.
You started golfing, MVP of the team, won back-to-back CIF championships.
Yep. With the team, it wasn't just me, but it was.
Well done.
We had it was a team contribution, but I was lucky to be a part of it. We had Rye Winans my freshman year, so that was big.
Lights out.
Yeah. So it was fun. It was a good couple of years of golf for the high school team.
And now, Vaughn, I look and I open a magazine, and there's a guy golfing on an ad for Lanai, the island of Lanai.
Island of Lanai, yeah.
And so you're the model.
I'm the little model.
You're the little model for that. And then how many tournaments now have you played in the last, let's just say, 3 years? Because this is the thing that is absolutely amazing. There's some people, my brother played professional baseball, right?
Yep.
And you have to have that mentality of you're going to do everything you possibly can, and you're still going to you're not going to hope you win. You're going to do everything you possibly can
to give yourself the best opportunity to win.
There you go.
Yeah.
And then there's other people who do as little as possible, and they hope they win.
For sure.
Right? And I have seen your work ethic, which is absolutely unbelievable.
Thank you so much.
Constantly working on your craft, constantly working to go to the next level.
Yep.
So even in the last week or two now, you played the Santa Barbara.
Yeah, I played the Santa Barbara City Championship. That was my first time playing in it, which in hindsight I should have played it last year and the year before. It's a great event. But
where was it at?
It was at Santa Barbara Golf Club, Muni down in Santa Barbara.
Yep.
The course was in spectacular shape. The greenskeeper did a great job with the greens. For a Muni track, it's probably one of the best in California.
Really?
And it was a great event. A lot of great players. It was really great. Yeah, I held the lead after. It was a 3-day event. I was 10 under through the first 2 days. I shot 5 under.
5 under.
Yeah.
And where are you playing? Are you playing? So the reds are for ladies.
Yeah, reds are for ladies. We're playing tipped out. I don't know how long the golf course is. I think it's.
So you're playing like where I play from the whites.
Yep.
Because I always, there's red, white, blue, and then black.
For sure.
Usually.
Yeah.
On a lot of courses, there's golds in there and
Yeah,
things like
yeah.
that. But I play from the whites, because there's no extra points from playing for the blues.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
So you're playing what? Not the red tees, not the white tees,
No.
not the blue tees, not the gold tees.
Yeah.
You're playing from basically the parking lot. I mean,
Yeah, if you want to think about it that way.
on a par 5, how like an average par 5 is like say 400 or 500 yards, and when you're playing from the blacks, that could stretch out to
the longer par 5s are about 600 yards.
unbelievable.
But yeah, those are deep than others. But yeah,
So
average
you're playing what
probably
the pros
550.
are playing.
Yeah, for sure. In that Santa Barbara Golf Club specifically, the course isn't as long as the big boy courses, but yeah, usually in all my tournaments, it's fully tipped out, so it's anywhere between 68 to 71,000, or like 6,800 to 7,100.
Okay, and you were playing not just par, you were playing 5 under for 2 days straight, back to back.
Yeah, so I shot 65.
Unbelievable.
Yep.
Jeez,
Yeah.
that's crazy that you would say you're 5 under 2 days in a row, where most people, let's just talk about golf just in general, right?
Mm-hmm.
So par on golf, for people who are just kind of listening to this, is basically if you play correctly.
Yes.
Right? If you hit it in the fairway.
It's like what you're supposed to do.
It's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
It's what a really, really good golfer would go out and play, and your goal is to hit par.
Yes.
I mean, I would say less than 1% of any golfer, of all people who play golf, have ever shot a par round.
Yeah.
And so you're out there shooting in all honesty,
For sure. Going
5
a couple
under,
yeah, for sure.
2 days in a row.
Yeah.
And how did you finish out?
Yeah, so ended up finishing 4th. I didn't play great on the last day, unfortunately. I got off to a really tough start. I was I had a lead by one shot, and so waking up that morning, there were some nerves, and it was a great experience being in the lead. I think it was a great learning experience, and definitely something that I'm able to apply for the future. But got off to a really tough start. The body was just really fired up and excited.
Because you're also walking, correct?
Exactly. Yeah,
you're
you walk
walking
18 holes.
You're
Every day.
walking 18 holes.
Yep.
You're carrying the bag.
Yep. I had my dad on the bag actually, so my dad was caddying for
well
sure.
done.
But yeah.
Well done.
Yep.
But you're walking. I mean, for those people who don't really play golf, just going out and walking 18
For sure
is tough.
Absolutely. I was talking to my dad about this yesterday, but people don't really realize how tiring golf can be. People think it's it's a slower sport. You kind of just walk around and hit a ball, and I mean that's definitely the case. But if you're doing it like the pros 4 days in a row, every single week, you got to be in good shape because
it physically demanding.
Absolutely.
So let's take a second and talk about. So as a 16-year-old person, this is what is so fascinating about you to me, right? Mm-hmm. Because you're 16 years old, carrying a bag, you're out there, you're doing your thing. I mean, you're definitely tired. 5 hours out in the sun,
For
walking. Sure. But let's talk about the mental game.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So the mental game of golf, which I've come to enjoy, has a component of it where, if you look at some of these chess champions, right, mm-hmm. they're losing 5, 6, up to 10 pounds a day.
Yeah.
Of just, they're sitting in a chair, but they are using their mind at such a level that they are just cooking.
Yeah.
Right? Cranking.
Yep.
And for you to go, number one, go out and shoot, let's say 5 under on a day.
Yeah.
And then come back and not be able to high five anybody.
Uh-huh.
Right? Not be like, oh, I just shot the best round of my life. This is great. Oh my gosh. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then know you have to go out and do it tomorrow.
Do it again.
And not just.
And then you got to do it again.
And then do it again.
And then do it again.
And so what are you doing as a 16-year-old? Uh-huh. Because you're putting yourself in a mental position. I think, even most adults don't put themselves in, right?
Yeah.
You're basically a fighter pilot at all times.
Yeah.
Where you are focused in. You're not getting distracted in a world where, your phone is chirping at you all the time.
No, yeah.
Where you are out there by yourself, figuring it out. Every shot comes down to you. There's nobody else to lean on.
Exactly, yeah.
And be able to pull out a great performance out of yourself.
For sure.
So what have you done as such a young man carrying a heavy load?
Yeah, I think the past 3 years I've really dove into the mental game. I think, my personal opinion, I believe that the mental game is about 90% of just golf in general and what it takes to actually be a champion and win and do what you aspire to do. I think I'm very lucky to have a great team around me. I'm very lucky to be able to work with some really great mental coaches.
Really?
Rick Sessinghouse, who works with Colin Morikawa. I've been working with him for about 3 years now, and we've really transcended my mental game. I think without him, I would not be able to kind of hold up and do the things that I've been doing. So, I think it comes down to really, having a good team behind you. I think, when you are on the golf course, it does feel like you're kind of on an island because it's an individual sport. You have a team to kind of help you and support you. But
there's no clock.
Exactly.
There's no anything. No. You're just out there swing by
Absolutely.
swing, trying to put a ball
in a hole.
Yeah. Which, golf is dumb.
For sure.
Really is,
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. It's the best sport in the world. We all love it. But it's one of those games that there's so many people who, give it everything they have and work so hard for it, because, they love it. And it can definitely be, it can be a tragedy at some points,
Sure.
There's devastating points in a golfer's career for sure. But, I feel like that's what makes the good that much better.
Well, I think golf, for a bunch of different reasons, one of the things that I have kind of fallen in love with it is the fact that even if you, say you're great at everything else in your life, right?
Yep.
Say you have a great team around you, you have people you can count on. You go to work every day, you're doing this or that. Mm-hmm. But golf is the great equalizer, where you go out there and it is. No matter what you do, you could hit the best shot of your life, but then right after that, you got to hit another shot.
You got to hit another good shot,
and you can't you can't get too high, you can't get too low. You're playing an impossible sport.
Yep.
That even par is unobtainable for most people.
Yeah.
Right. And then you're like, yeah, I want to do this. I want to give my,
For sure.
I want to give my life.
Give
over
my
it.
life to it.
But you being 16 years old and putting yourself in that, mental pressure cooker.
Yeah.
You could learn how to hit a baseball, which I think is probably the second hardest sport in
Absolutely, I agree.
the world. But when you're out there mentally, drained, and then you've got to get up and do it again tomorrow.
Yep.
So if you take at such a young age all of that pressure, and you are doing it to yourself.
Yeah. I'm putting myself in that position every day.
You are
every day.
I know your family. No one's yelling at you to do this.
No one's forcing me to do this.
You're definitely doing it.
Yep.
What advice do you think that you've learned in the last 3 years that you could share with other people?
Yeah.
Not just golf, but also translating into your own life.
Yeah.
Right. What have you learned that has made the biggest change in your life?
Yeah. It's been 3 years of a great journey of golf. I think there's so many layers, and there's so many different aspects of the game that I've learned. And, I truly believe, and all the greats, all the legendary golfers have always said, like, golf is literally like the game of life, and you have different aspects of the game that relate to different parts of your life. I would say, the last year for me has been a lot of ups and downs. And I think, it's been really hard at points. And people don't always really realize it, but it's a tough game, and to give so much to something and then like not see any results or feel like you're getting worse.
Sure.
It's devastating at points.
But that's life.
But that's life.
That is life.
Exactly. So it's like
get up, chop wood every day, and
Yeah.
maybe sometimes the sun shines on you,
Exactly.
and some days it rains.
Exactly.
Yeah.
For sure. No. So that's like, there's so many different parts of the game that correspond to just like life in general. I would say, advice would be honestly just to like, really keep plugging away. There's the analogy of like pounding the rock,
Yeah.
And that's something that I've always really lived by, because there's times where it's like, man, I really don't want to get up and go do this again.
Yep.
But the idea of pounding the rock and one day it'll break, I think that's something that's always really, really been just inspiring for me personally.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that doesn't matter what facet of life that you're pursuing or the journey that you're on, I think that analogy is really, really important to just keep in mind and keep in front of you.
Vaughn, just sitting here across from you,
Yeah.
in all honesty,
Yeah.
man, I'm talking to a 16-year-old young man, right?
Yep.
And for a 16-year-old young man to be so articulate as you are, to just walk in here and put on some headphones and say this, I'm going to go on
I'm
the radio.
so glad we did this.
I know,
Yeah,
this
absolutely.
is fun. But the mental fortitude,
For sure.
of the things that you're learning right now,
Yeah.
just as someone who is your senior by, 35 years.
Yeah. Thank you.
I know. Those are life lessons that I think a lot of people learn at different points in their life.
For
right?
sure,
Where
for
they
sure.
find something that they love and they're just going to give their life over to it in
Yep.
some way.
Yep.
Right? It could be work. It could be a passion. It could be art. It could be, anything.
It could be a sport, whatever it is.
Whatever
Yeah.
it is. But that tenacious mindset,
Yeah. Yeah.
in our family with, my brother, it's like you have to be audacious in your
For sure.
dreams, tenacious in your work ethic, and victorious in your mindset.
I love that.
And I
Yeah.
think you embody that, and to
Thank
sit,
you. Yeah,
sit
yeah.
across from such a young man
Thank
that
you,
I'm
yeah.
like, wow, this kid's amazing,
Yeah.
man. Way to go, Vaughn.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
So let's go back to golf. So
Yeah,
you've been
yeah.
playing give me your top 3 courses that you've been playing, and you can pick LSL, that's fine too. But
Yeah.
you've played a lot of golf
Yep.
in a lot of different places.
A lot of different places.
What have you enjoyed the most? Where do you like to play? What's on your bucket list?
Yeah, that's a great question. Golf is another thing about golf that's so amazing is it brings you to just such cool places.
They don't build golf courses in ugly places,
No,
strangely enough.
never.
It's always gorgeous.
Except I just got back from Menifee down south in California. That wasn't very beautiful,
Well,
but
there
but
you go.
yeah, but other places, for the most part, it's such a beautiful game, and I think that's such a big part of it. I think, for me, obviously Pebble Beach was really, really special.
Yeah.
I was fortunate enough to play Pebble about 2 years ago.
Bucket list?
For sure. Absolutely. It was,
How did you play?
I did not play good. It was
Okay.
no, I did not play good at all.
Okay.
It was, for a moment there, I was starting to get a little mad, but then I was like, it's such a beautiful spot. It's really the most important thing is just to really take it, soak it all in.
Yeah, it's the Augusta of California.
Absolutely,
Sure.
absolutely. And there's so much
not
history.
the Augusta, the St. Andrews.
St. Andrews, for
Yeah.
sure. St. Andrews of California. That's St. Andrews on the bucket list.
There you go.
100%. That's hopefully something that we can make happen.
Listen,
here.
I'm coming.
Yeah,
You know what?
absolutely. Absolutely, you should come.
I am.
For
I'll
sure.
carry your bag.
Yeah,
I'll carry whatever you
absolutely.
want. But I definitely want to go and walk that one with you.
I know. That'd be so much fun.
I just want to go to Wednesday when all the kids come out there.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
would be the best.
I know.
Okay.
It's a special spot.
So, and you played Lanai, of course.
Yeah, so Lanai, I've been fortunate enough to play there a lot because my dad's been kind of doing all their advertisements and stuff. And so I've been able to go out there for the past 5 years and go out once a year and really spend some good time just playing. And I've actually brought my coach Johnny Heno out there. We've been able to like model. So we'll my dad'll shoot the golf course and we'll be the players. And so we'll basically just get hit
now you
shots.
got a fallback plan. If golf doesn't work out, just go model.
Just go model.
Not bad.
Yep,
Not
absolutely.
bad. Not bad.
But yeah, no. So Lanai's always been special. And they're actually supposed to redo it here soon, I think. So that'll be even better because the course isn't already in perfect shape. I don't know how much more perfect it can get, but I guess it can.
Everybody's got to make it better.
Yeah, exactly.
So, Santa Barbara County, what are your three favorite places to play?
Yeah, obviously the Alisal Ranch holds a special place in my heart.
What's your best round ever at Alisal?
5 under.
Really?
Yeah, 5 under.
I'm surprised by that.
I know. I haven't really, I've shot 5 under on both nines.
It also shows how difficult that course is for being a local gem.
Yeah.
And it's also top 50 most historical courses in the United States, from what I understand.
That sounds about right. I don't know that fact, but it sounds about right. I think it used to be Arnold Palmer's like favorite spot.
Really?
For a while, yeah. Like way back in the day. Arnold Palmer used to be his spot.
Valley lore, baby.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's pretty sick. But yeah, only 5 under total. I've shot 5 under on both nines. So I shot 31 on one nine and 31 on the other.
Okay.
But just haven't put it together.
Got it.
But yeah, Alisal Ranch holds a special place in my heart, just because I live right there. Some special nights on the golf course out there, and then obviously Montecito Country Club is a great spot.
Sure.
It's in perfect shape. I would say, I really want to play Valley Club. I've never played Valley Club, so that's definitely on the bucket list. But obviously, according to the rankings and all that, it's top 100. It's legit. So Valley Club for sure. La Prisma is always special. It's a tough track. But,
so let's talk about that a little
yeah.
bit. La Prisma is halfway between
it's like in between Lompoc and Buellton.
and one of the Piranha, like just a nightmare of a course. It's brutal.
Yep.
Wind blows.
Yep.
You're gonna lose. You might as well bring a sleeve of balls because you're definitely gonna lose them.
Yep.
Incredibly difficult, like that, almost masochistic.
Yeah, I think it's probably one of the most challenging golf courses I've ever played.
Have you played?
I've played it over like 15 times. So
that's awesome. Have you played San Marcos? Because I know, from what I understood, they opened up the 9.
They just opened up the 9. I've been out there practicing the last couple of weeks. I have not played the golf course yet. I really want to get out there.
That's
and play.
A pretty special course.
I know. I'm really looking forward to getting out there and just playing the 9. It's a bummer they didn't open the back 9, but they just opened the front 9. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So you're stacking up accolades.
Yep.
You're doing well.
Yep.
You're doing a very difficult thing in a highly, highly competitive field.
Yep.
What is that?
I don't know.
Okay.
It's done now. Oh wait. No.
Well, we'll keep going. Maybe it's the end of the world. We have no idea.
I don't know.
Maybe they'll tell us later.
Yeah, it's fine. It's
well, at least we'll finish this.
It's done. Yeah, it's done. It's over.
And hope you enjoyed yourself.
Yep.
So what is next for you?
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to be a senior.
Yep.
You're looking towards college. You're looking towards what are you thinking about?
Yeah. So obviously, the goal ever since I started golf was college golf.
Okay.
That's always been a goal of mine. Ultimately, the goal is professional golf. But a goal along the way is college golf. And so in the process of that right now, I've been in communication and kind of talking with a handful of schools the last like year. For the last year, I've been talking with schools, and it's been a great process. It's been a great journey. I've loved being able to get to know coaches, go on visits, learn more about programs, and just kind of get introduced into the whole college golf world.
Yep.
And so that's,
by the way, one of the most competitive sports to play in college. I mean, if you think about it, like a baseball team has 25, 30 people on it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Football team has hundreds.
Yeah.
Soccer, everything else. But
everything's above 20, really.
But a golf program, how many people are on a general golf program?
Yeah. So, and it's honestly gotten even more competitive because NCAA has come out with a new roster limit this year.
Okay.
And so that's been kind of something we've been juggling, and kind of a lot of programs and schools are kind of still putting it together. But usually, they don't really have a roster cap, but anywhere from 6 to 15 guys really.
That's tight.
Is the roster size for a golf program,
right.
and
that's the total size. So if you really think about it,
yeah.
maybe they're losing. Let's say it's 16,
yep.
and it's evenly distributed, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're losing. You have maybe 4 spots a year.
Yeah.
And there's now transfer portal. There's all kinds of,
and the roster limit just got bounced down to 9. So now every NCAA Division I and Division II program has to have. I think it's Division II. It might be just NCAA Division I, but
so you're vying for less than probably 3 spots.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, highly competitive.
9. Yeah, for sure.
And there's millions of golfers out there.
There's a lot. Yeah.
There's a lot of people.
There's a lot.
So college, and then after that, pro.
After that, professional. Yep. Everyone's journey is different, and there's a lot of different ways to get to professional golf. And so, I think God has a plan for me and for that journey. But I think, obviously that's a goal, and that's something that's what I want to do. And so, what I've been focusing on is just doing everything I can in my power to give it everything I have every day, and enjoy the process along the way. I think, the last year, 2 years, the last 6 months, really, I've learned how important it is to really enjoy the process. For a while there, it was tough because I'm a perfectionist, and so it feels like it's never enough.
Sure.
It feels like I'm never satisfied. And I think, it's one of my best attributes, but it's also, one that can be damaging at times.
Sure.
But I think
part of the mental game.
Exactly. Part of the mental game. But really that's something that I've learned is how important it is to embrace the process, embrace the journey, and really love the highs and the lows. And I think, for me, for a while there, and I'm still working on it as of now, but for a while I was really, focused, and because I thought for a while the way to get to where I want to go and play at the level that I want to play, you have to, be special and do something completely different, and you have to focus on everything that you're doing wrong and continue to improve. And I think, for a while I got in a bad habit of focusing on everything that I was doing wrong, and all the parts of my game and even mental game that weren't performing well.
Sure.
And I wasn't giving any attention to what was well and what was good, and what I would what aspects of the game I was doing well. And so I think, mentally it was draining. But I've really worked on doing what I can to build momentum and focus on the positives, and obviously learn from the negatives, but really, focus on the positives and continue to build momentum, because that's really ultimately that's how you get to the next level. Yep. And that's something that took me a little while to understand, but I'm working on it myself.
Vaughn, one of the things about just talking to you and why I wanted to have you on the show, right, is the fact that it is so incredibly rare. And this is just from an old guy to a young guy, right?
Yeah. I don't know about old. I mean, just turned,
49.
I don't know.
I'm tapping on the ball.
My dad's tapping on 60, so
there you go.
You're good.
We're good.
Yeah.
But everything you're talking about, right, is our are features of life.
Yeah.
Right. When you're talking about focusing on the negative and getting yourself into a bad position,
Yep.
or focusing, being drained, or putting a lot of effort in and not seeing a reward.
Yeah.
Everything that I'm hearing from you as a young 16-year-old that is putting himself into tough mental positions.
For sure.
These are positions that most people run from.
Yeah.
And at week after week and day after day, you're putting yourself right in the crosshairs.
Yep.
You're putting yourself right there to make yourself better.
Mm-hmm.
You're not backing down from challenges.
Yep.
You're embracing challenges. You're running forward into them. No matter what. No matter what.
Yeah.
I want to be at St. Andrews. I want to
Yeah.
be at Augusta. I
Yeah.
want to watch you on
Absolutely.
a Sunday
Absolutely.
afternoon on the leaderboard.
Yeah.
Focused.
Absolutely.
And being in that mental pressure cooker.
For sure.
But no matter what,
Yeah.
you are learning life lessons that will absolutely, you're learning the cheat codes to life.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
You are learning how to deal with adversity. You're
Yep.
learning how to be positive and step up to the next shot. Put the old thing that happened, last shot, maybe it wasn't great, but you're
Yep.
like, this is where we are now, and there's the goal, and we're working towards it.
Yeah.
It's that like Navy SEAL mindset. It's that champions mindset.
Yep.
And, it is so fun to talk to you because it's
Yeah.
like seeing you thrive and survive and grow
Yeah.
in this and put yourself in positions. Like I said, I think 99.9% of people would say, I don't need this. I don't want to do this. I'm going to look for the easy path.
Yeah.
Because, the road to heaven feels like hell and the
Yeah.
road to hell feels like heaven.
Yeah. I love
And
that.
the
Yeah.
truth of it is you are putting yourself on the road.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
And I think it's so great. And no matter who's listening to this, there is something to learn.
Yeah,
It's
for
like,
sure.
if it wasn't golf, it'd be something else.
Absolutely.
You would
And that's the thing,
definitely
like we said, like these lessons and learning experiences can apply to, honestly, they apply to every facet of life, no matter what you're pursuing. So it's kind of universal.
It is absolutely universal.
Yeah.
And I am so glad you came in.
I
I'm
know.
so glad we did this.
I know,
This will be
dude. It's
great.
awesome, bro.
So you have been listening to Chopping It Up on 105.9 Crazy Country with Keith Saarloos and Vaughn Gordon, 16-year-old golf phenom. Definitely write this name down. Put it in your notes because one day you're going to be laying on the couch,
Yes, sir.
watching television, looking at a leaderboard, and when it says this young gentleman hails from San Ynez Valley, one of our own, one of our favorite sons,
Yes, sir.
Vaughn Gordon.
Absolutely.
So back to your regularly scheduled wonderful music here on Crazy Country 105.9.